From the station that brought you the following message. And yes, today folks, Monday the 4th of November, he says, casually glancing at the screen time below. Absolutely correct. Now today's video is going to have a lot of cope, folks, a lot of cope, more coping, and it just carries on and on and on. I've watched a lot of live streams over the weekend, including 2 by Smash JT, where he had the master of the TDS breaking down all that was going on with the PAL group and their association with Sweet Baby, which is pretty funny. So if you don't know, Jay Powell, the CEO of the self-named group that he's been headlining for 15 years, suddenly removed any associative words to do with Sweet Baby.
Oh yeah, we gotta trim some of the fat around here.
Trim the... What do you mean by trim the fat?
I want you to fire the fat people.
What?
They're lazy and they're slow and they make me sad to look at.
It doesn't mention them at all. It's like they had to do damage control and remove everything, even though the internet is around and we can still find your stuff because we're all sleuths in our own time. But in today's video, folks, I'll be talking about Dragon Age, the Fail God, as one of my subscribers pointed out to me. Yes, it's a very obvious pun, but you've got to use it in this day and age, folks, because I've been playing a lot of Mass Effect 3 recently from the Legendary Edition, and I've got to tell you, man, like, what I love about old school video games, the muscle memory comes back. You suddenly have your finger on a particular button and it pulls off this really cool move that you forgot about maybe months ago. But really enjoying my playthrough of that. I'm at the level where we've got Anderson's apartment now. He's giving it to Shepard, and all her teammates are in his house staying with her, and she's going to talk to them one by one. But it's really, really cool. So I can't wait to carry on with that this afternoon. But without further ado, folks,
3, 2, 1, go!
Yes, hallelujah, it's the video show. And now, the man the BBC calls...
Jason King on Kung Fu Hot Dog.
What is a turnaround?
Anyway, folks, the reason why I wanted to bring up the conversation of Dragon Age their Fail God, because an article that I've forgotten about was from last year, from the end of August. Basically what happened, and you probably would have forgotten about this, at least 50, that's 50 employees who worked for BioWare for many years have all been fired, which is a bit strange because some of them, it seems, were recalled for this latest project of theirs. And what it was, it seems that they were fired with the improper severance payments made. So what this article goes into from gamesindustry.biz is that the 14 months severance pay all seems to be a bit cushy, a little bit tidy. It's not quite right, but apparently these fired employees are taking action against EA games to be properly serviced. And it's rather interesting because one of them is Mary Kirby, who has been a long life Dragon Veil, or rather Dragon Age writer for all of the series, including this one. So I think this actually affected the overall tone and the look of the game. But having said that, when you have somebody like Corinne Bush, who is the game director, the queero gendermancer, who is actually a dude, not a woman, but likes to call himself Corinne because I guess he was bored one day, the overseer of this actual title, well, I guess it was destined to fail. And by the way, folks, if you stick towards the end of this video, I'll give you another reveal regarding the end credits. Okay, you can come back now. Great. Just keep standing there. Don't move. But unfortunately, again, for Mass Effect 4 or just Mass Effect the reboot, I don't have any hope that's going to be great either. So we'll have to wait and see. Look, I could be proven wrong, but we'll just have to wait and see, folks. So again, when you go through the article here, it's and again, it's an old article. It's pretty mind-blowing. But listen, folks, I've got to do this. You've got to brace yourself now. This is where It's that favorite time of the day again where I talk about Alyssa Mercante because she can't stop drooling and trying to compare herself to a Hollywood actress who is far more attractive than she is. Now, who am I talking about? What is her weird obsession? Now, before I get to that, this is something she reposted one day ago on Blue Sky. Now, Blue Sky is a very weird platform. It's meant to be the more seething and coping version of Twitter X. It's more like a PG companion. I'm on here already because I wanted to make sure I got to claim my social media handle before somebody else did, but somebody else did on Rumble because I had Kung Fu Hot Dog lined up for that, and apparently somebody stole my username, so that's why I don't have any time for Rumble. But Mercante whines and moans about Mark Kern, aka Grums, where she says, incredibly frustrating to see rage baiters post lie after lie that gets turned into acceptable law, while calling journalists untrustworthy, like, are we in the upside down already? Referring to Stranger Things. Well, I have to give Alyssa some credit here. Journalists are definitely on the upside down, including Jason Schreier, who likes to call people chuds. But then in the case of Dragon Age the Veilguard, he didn't enjoy the game, but yet he still took time on social media, not just to block me because the guy is an absolute screamer, as Schreier is the German translation for that, so he's a female banshee. So what did Grum say to actually elicit the wrath of Mercante? What you are seeing now is woke libtards trying to milk an error into a full-blown struggle session. I'm supposed to rend my clothes, eat sand, and vow never to post again. That is their ultimate goal, suppression. Well, guess what? I'm here to stay. Cry some more, Alyssa. It's true, because while I'm not yet labeled into that alt-right section, I've been called that, I don't care, because at least at the end of the day, I'm raw, I'm unfiltered, I say what I feel and feel what I say. So it's great that Grums came out with that statement, and the fact that Alyssa reacts to it is actually very funny. It's seething, it's coping, I do love it. And oh look, it's Alyssa and her soy boy Ethan Gatch Toy Boy, who also works at Kotaku, all getting ready for Halloween. Oh, is she meant to be Lita Ford? Is that who she's meant to be from? Yeah, I don't know if that's the case, but every single excuse she has, she's got to show her underwear off. Why? Alyssa, do you wash your ass with a bidet? I'm guessing you don't, love, so stay away from me. But here's the weird obsession she's got with the lovely Christina Milioti, who plays Sophia Falcone on The Penguin, which I've seen the first episode already, and my god, when I saw her and her endlessly long legs on the screen, I thought, yeah, I've got to keep on watching. Colin Farrell is amazing. Colin Farrell is such a handsome guy, and I like the fact that he plays ugly because it gives his performance a lot more nuance. But look, if you want to see a side-by-side, oh, that's Alyssa trying to look like a Hollywood actress who's actually a very nice person from the interviews I've seen her in. But Alyssa, yeah, no chance, love, that no one is interested. I mean, come on. Do people still do this in 2024? This is like $1 cosplay, right? She walked into a $1 discount shop in New York and bought this outfit to look like an actress who looks like $1 million in a $1 million production for HBO. That's what it feels like. Alyssa, we did all of this in 2007, love, when social media was slowly starting to infect our minds. So I do find it very funny. And now here's another thing, actually, because while I was lurking on Alyssa's profile, I saw this thing that she had reshared from a guy called Luke Plunkett. Of course, I see his surname, I think, of Plunkett and McLean, that really awesome movie with Robert Carlyle and Johnny Lee Miller and the beautiful Liv Tyler. If you've not seen it, it's a really underrated gem of a movie. So I had to look into this a little bit more. So DualShockers, a usually respected gaming platform, I thought this was very funny. So I had to do a bit of digging around, and it turns out this is actually true because Ethan Gatch, the old soy boy from Kotaku, actually shared this as well. So what are we talking about here, folks? The fact that in their original review for Dragon Age The Failguard, DualShockers actually said this: it's a game that clearly has a bit of the Sweet Baby Inc. treatment in spots when it comes to its character backgrounds and storytelling. And it's a game that's willing to offer fan service by giving old characters little cameo appearances, but unwilling to truly cater to the wants and needs of long-serving Dragon Age fans, which I thought was a pretty good thing to say. But if you go to the review now, it doesn't mention anything at all about it. I went looking through the phases, or phrases, I should say, and nothing at all comes up about that. There's no reference to Sweet Baby. It has been stealthily removed, which I thought was very funny. And who actually wrote the article? Callum Marshall. Nope, you're not on X. Dragon Age The Veilguard, 8.5 out of 10, which is interesting. I would have thought he would have given it a lower score, considering what he just said about the Sweet Baby Inc. reference, which I thought was very good. So in a way, what some people have been calling out about this article is that, especially Ethan Gatch, you can never stop coping. It's like, it's utterly disqualifying. You're giving these alt-right wing people coverage. It's almost like the fact they mentioned that was to draw coverage to themselves. Well, anyway, folks, while I was watching Smash JT's latest live performance, or should I say live stream even, he mentioned my all-time favorite comedy. That is, of course, Office Space, right here. I celebrate this movie more than life itself, and tonight I will be unwrapping the seal and putting this into my DVD player and watching it for the upteenth time. It's amazing. But the reason why I mentioned Jeff from Smash JT, because when you think about the scope of Sweet Baby Inc., if they walked into a boardroom or say Dragon's Den, sat down, you'd have the two Bobs either side of the desk, and they'll be asking the same question that we're all asking.
What would you say you do here?
Put this stuff up to your higher-ups, and if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them.
Well, look, I already told you. I deal with the goddamn customers so the engineers don't have to. I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. Can't you understand that? What the hell is wrong with you people?
And I'm sorry, Kimberly and David Badad of Sweet Baby, but you really couldn't even sell coal to a coal miner. On the actual profile for J. Powell on Blue Sky, when you look at this guy's, when you look at his profile, right, he seems like a very almost based kind of guy, but then when you see that he sticks up for cringe events like GDC, Devs of Color, yes, I support this, you can come on in. And then he's got an interaction here with somebody called Anya Combs. I thought it was Coombs at first because her handle is Anya Combs her hair. But she's a she-her. She's a saxophonist in a New York band. I lost the contract because I was too assertive as a woman. Are you sure you're a woman again, Anya? I'm not quite sure if you are, looking at your photographs. And I think about that a lot. It hurts my feelings, I'll admit that. But also, their loss, my directness, and assertiveness is an asset, not a hindrance. And as Jay Powell sims for her below, absolutely their loss. And frankly, you should wear that assertiveness as a badge of honor. There will be more. Oh, I'm done quieting myself to make weak men feel comfortable. They need to grow up. Only one reply, which is from Jay, but no hearts, loves, nothing. It's hilarious. Oh my god, did they actually use that phrase exactly? That's messed up, y'all. Oh, shit, come on, give me a break. It's just her in her own echo chamber. Like I said, bluesky.com is an echo chamber for people like Miss Combs right here. But now, folks, we get to the last part of today's video, which is already rambling in at 16 minutes long. I do apologize. Here we go. This is probably a perfect moment, actually. So, thanks to GamerPray, that website, who ran this monetized end credit sequence in 4K for Dragon Age the Failguard. I'm surprised it's monetized because it's all copyrighted music, but these end credits are 27 minutes and 5 seconds long. Why you got to get the 5 seconds in, I have no idea. But remember what Laura Kate Dale, the groomer I spoke about last week, was exclaiming in his Twitter feed? Oh, I worked on this game for 4 years and I've got an end credit. Now, I went through everything here. Erika Ishii obviously is one of the rooks in the game. And in fact, a clip I featured of her last week is probably the one she's playing, because she talks about, oh, I didn't know what it's like to be trans until now.
It took a while for me to figure out why the face staring back from the mirror felt wrong. But once I was able to be honest with myself, it was a relief to figure out I was trans.
And Abubakar Salim from that Zao game, he's also in there as well. But have a look, folks, at 25 minutes and 48 seconds in, whose name is proudly under the title of Cultural Consultant, Laura Kate Dale. So for all the, oh, look at me, I've got my name in the end credits. You have to wait. It's a slog to get through these credits, folks. I tell you, I had to do the dirty lifting for you right here, but I actually forwarded quite a lot thinking, oh, is it going to be this section that he will be credited for? Nope. And you have to carry on a cultural consultant. I don't know the other names on here. They don't ring a familiar tone to me, but yep, even BioWare supports alleged groomers of kids calling himself Laura Kate Dale. And when you take into account the trouble that BioWare has gone through by letting go of so many employees who are now suing them for severance discretions, shall we say, I find it absolutely fascinating and procrastinating. But there you go, folks. First video of the week, and I've seen the jump in subscribers. It's really quite... I love it. It's fantastic. I'll just say thanks for sharing my video. If you keep wondering why I'm looking at, I'm just looking at the end credits. It's just a bizarre thing, but all my eyes are all focused on you now, folks. But absolutely, I've had a jolly good time making these videos. I had a day off yesterday because I wanted to play video games. And like I said, I've been on Mass Effect 3, which has been an absolute riot. But you know what isn't a riot, folks? Watching people seethe and cope online. It's absolutely hilarious when it comes to us, the gamers, and then the gaming journalists who don't play games for a living, but oh dear, if you're like Alyssa McCante, who, by the way, she gave you full permission to roast her. And again, Alyssa, got to reiterate this, love. We don't need your permission or anybody else's. Like, just in the same way you can come after me or anybody else in our sphere, I'm a target, baby. I got a bullseye right here above Deadpool's head. But if I were you, and if you were me, you may wish to return for the next video.
I want to take you out to dinner. And then I want to go back to my apartment and watch Kung Fu. Do you ever watch Kung Fu?
I love Kung Fu.
Channel 39.
Totally. Can we order lunch first?
Yeah.
Okay.